Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
And Judge, I don't know why you ran that lady off, man. She just had a disagreement.
Because she's talking bullshit.
No, Judge,
there ain't nothing glorious about that crap. It keeps us down and it keeps us enslaved. It's time to be a free people, and you can't afford that. There is no glorification for that.
Judge, I understand what you're saying, bro, but at the same time, you have served. You went to school. You went to college. You've been a judge. You ain't been in no gang. You ain't been no blood. You ain't been no crib. You ain't been no vice lord. You ain't been no PD. You ain't been none of that. You ain't lived in no streets. You come from a good family. You ain't lived in
no, that ain't it. I grew up 4 blocks from where.
With a silver spoon in your mouth.
I didn't have the goddamn silver spoon. We had the same thing. I grew up on 58th Place in Slauson. It wasn't any goddamn silver spoon. No bullshit. Everybody was suffering. My old man went off and worked 4 goddamn jobs in a different year. So, I mean, he was always working. There was never a week where he didn't have a job. He'd have 2 jobs. He'd come home from being a teacher, and he'd go someplace else to work in the evening. He was working 60-hour days. And in the summer, he worked on another thing, or he worked at the damn post office. We were struggling. Now, everybody in the neighborhood was struggling, but the difference was everybody had a father. Now, there were other people who, when we were in the 4th and 5th grade, they was crying, snot running out their nose, talking about they want their mama. In the 7th grade, they joined the Dell Viking Slausons of businessmen. Then they bad because they part of a posse, but they're still punks who did not have a daddy to show them how to be a man. Now, I saw, by the time I got in high school, maybe the 10th grade, I'd seen 12, 13 people killed within 10 yards of me, 15. It wasn't a nice place. I grew up with 7 guys that we went through junior high school. The last one alive died of a heart attack. Everybody else died in the penitentiary or dead. My difference is I said to myself, I'm a man and I ain't supposed to do this shit. If I'm going to be a man, I take care of the people that are around and about me. And I'm going to dedicate myself to that. I didn't want to be any damn lawyer. I didn't want to be any damn judge. I had something else in mind. But the bottom line was, as I said, I'm going to have to do this because they need somebody to help. Of course, you don't hear about the ones that really help. You just get the ones who maybe get a famous case every now and then. Or maybe they're all about money, but they don't give a damn about what happened in their community. So the deal is, it ain't all about money. It's about doing what you're supposed to do as a man or a woman to get where you live to be a better, safer, more secure place filled with economic prosperity. I've been shot twice, goddammit, off of some bullshit. So, I mean, it ain't no goddamn safe life. Don't talk to me about having a silver spoon in my behind. I mean, I had to deal with some folks that did. They couldn't stand me because, he's one of those low-class Negroes. He's from over there.
But Judge, everybody ain't going to share the same walk of life and the same perspective. And that's all I'm saying.
Well, they need to change.
Instead of knock her perspective, disagree with her, educate her, like you was doing.
I was trying to.
But just don't do it in the form of where you run her off and make her feel bad for being in the game.
They need to. They got some atonement to do. You go to the Italian neighborhood, the mafia is the big gang. That is the organized crime. But they make where they
right side the right way. Not like that.
Well, there ain't no right way. Mao said it. Never let untruth or incorrectness stand uncorrected. And it's time to stop being nice. The world's not nice to us. We always want somebody to smile, pat us on our goddamn head, and scratch our ears so we can wag our tails. The world ain't like that.
No,
we got to get tough. And getting tough means when we got incorrectness, we got to say. I know gang members. Tookie Williams, last dude they executed on death row in California, was a skinny little 12-year-old and 13-year-old on a playground where I was an assistant director. We tried to save him. His mama wouldn't let that happen. We tried to get him out of the damn swamp. He couldn't be gotten out of the swamp, so he became the baddest-ass alligator in the swamp. He had a good heart. But the bottom line was, is every now and then he did something to show it. But on the other hand, 6 books for kids he wrote while he was sitting on death row. They should have commuted his sentence, but they didn't. So the deal is he's a casualty. And by the way, if you want to see how it works, they've got an old documentary come movie called Battle of Algiers. You might be able to find it. Look at it. Tell you how it's done.
Okay. But Judge, I agree with everything you're saying, but like I say, respect.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like you got every right. I feel like you got every right to teach. You got every right to disagree, but it's in how you disagree. It's in how you
Well, look, I don't play that. I don't have that much time left to breathe planet air. So I'm an old man. So I don't have time to convince somebody about you need to do something to straighten up for the benefit of the people. If you want to build with the people and talk about them, then do the right damn thing. Starting right now.
Indeed.
When they came over and enslaved us, would you like to have an all-expense-paid vacation across the Atlantic Ocean with close quarters and lots of your people around to enjoy the experience with? They didn't do that.
Well, that's all I wanted to say, man. You got every
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm trying to keep it real. And the reality is screwed. And we got to do something to get our acts together. And it ain't being nice talking about, well, I was in the gang. Yeah, you were in the gang. Okay, fine. You made a mistake. So it's time to move on. And part of that is nobody else needs to have to put up with that. Our main problem is we didn't have enough daddies in this neighborhood to teach the children what they needed to be taught.
Indeed. Thank you, Valerie. CeeLo the Great, Judge O'Brien.
There you go.
All right. So if no one else has nothing else to say, Judge, I mean, is that it? Is that what you want us to take away from today's conversation? Because I think a lot of young people, I mean, they can benefit from what you just said.
But you see, the young people need to get motivated to raise hell. They aren't. They're doing stuff that's dysfunctional. But they aren't going off burning anything down. They aren't shutting down buildings. They aren't standing up and being counted and defying anybody with doing something. They aren't doing what the Panther Party did, running patrols in the black community, armed patrols saying if we catch you out of hand, we're going to jack you up like you like to jack us up. They aren't doing that. And we need to start that.
But I don't think everybody qualifies to do that, though, Judge. I would be fearful of that.
You got to make yourself do that.
To me, I think that is sending these young kids to slaughter. Like, I think that
well, it ain't
a lot
slaughter. You're going to get killed any
I
damn
think they
way.
would end up losing their lives.
You're going to, look, your neighbors don't kill you. The police will kill you. The stress will kill you. You might get drafted again because there might be some war going on someplace. So the bottom line is you're going to stop breathing anyway. I know that. I'm old enough to be able to tell you. So since you're going to stop breathing on your own, you might as well stop it for some good reason. See, that's where it comes down to the reality.
I just think there's a proper way to do everything. I don't know. Me, I think that everybody, should stay in their lane. Those who can fight should fight. Those who teach should teach. Those who do media. Yeah, but I'm saying we can fight based on our skill set. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, then get the skill set.
I like to say something right quick.
Shoot. You can take martial
arts.
LA Judge. I would like to say something real quick because I was a single mother and I did have a
please don't say that.
supportive father but he was found murdered, and my son ended up getting bullied a lot by, at that time, the Vice Lords. And he didn't want to join the Vice Lords, but he ended up in the Folks, which eventually ended up in the Crips. And I tried everything I could to try to get my son out of this gang. I didn't have any brothers that could help me. I didn't have any neighbors that could help me. I tried to even get a 501c3 from different organizations to try to see whether or not if I can start a group to help show young men in the neighborhoods that there was more than just that neighborhood. I couldn't get anything. I was seen as the single black mother. And then yet my son ended up in prison for 25 years. He just got out. It's just like when you don't know what to do and how to do it, how do we get blamed?
Let me say this. When I grew up, where I grew up in L.A., which was, if you know L.A., it was on 58th Place in Normandy. That's one block from Slauson. Where Nipsey Hussle got killed was about 4.5 blocks away, 5 blocks away. All right? Now, it's always been a messed up area. So what I did, since they had a local gang, the Dale Vikings, that were overlapping into Slauson territory, every time somebody messed with me, I would take 4 of these carom sticks. It's sort of like it's like pool with a table, except instead of having balls, they had things that looked like flat checkers. I would take 2 of these big rubber bands and wrap them together, and I'd ambush these fools one at a time, beat the hell out of them. So they either had to find me collectively, which I wasn't going to let happen, or I was going to do one of them in, or they were going to have to do me in.
Well, so that's the way I was. But he wasn't like that. I raised him up in the church, Judge. You know,
church is the wrong damn thing to go. We don't need Jesus. We don't need what kept us enslaved for 400 years. We need to be warriors and men, not to have something that is designed the way they taught it to us to keep us passive and under control. We need to not go to church where the preacher's job has been in the black church to take all of the black folk who are mad as hell on Saturday and get them passive enough to endure one more week. We need to let it build up so the black folks say, hell no, not one more damn day.
Please, Judge.
I'm rewinding your message, preparing it for playback.
We're all about the dollar when that's only part of it.
Well, you know, while all that may be true, we also got to look at circumstances and living conditions that are afforded to the black and brown community. We don't have great schools all the time. We don't have.
That's our fault. That's our
Excuse
fault.
me?
That's our fault.
No.
Because
what I'm saying,
we have a consequence we can deliver if they don't give us what we had. 1964 through 1967, we burnt the damn town down. You don't give us what we want, let's burn it down. You ain't getting it either. Let's see how much your insurance companies can pay out when you burn down the city center like you're the Army Air Corps and it's World War II and you're bombing Nazi Germany. See, we don't think about that kind of thing. You mentioned a good thing about the DA can do something. We won't elect a black DA. We got a white girl up in here who's a lesbian, been in there for years, and white people only 19.1% of the registered voters in this town. You know, so it's like crazy. We don't pay attention because we're looking at every damn thing else, the Kardashians, Housewives, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, every other damn something, but we don't pay attention to what's going on. And if you grab the average black person, they can't tell you one of the many criminal court judges. And we have fewer black judges now than we had 20 years ago.
And this is very true. And this is why my role is to educate. This is deeper than just now. This goes back to our ancestors in slavery of the systematic thought process of what they want the black person to think and how they have controlled the minds of the black man, which then controlled the mind of their female, which also showed them that we're not always loved by our kings. So when we have all of this,
let me say something about that. Let me interrupt you. There's a king and there's a queen, and damn near everybody else is a subject. Now, I understand this thing, the boosting for morale, but we can't have everybody a king. That just didn't happen where we came from or anywhere else in the world. Next bloody thing, here is the solve.
Okay.
50 years ago, I did a thing with a Washington, D.C. think tank, and at the time I was in my mid-20s, and I was rather surprised at what I was reading. I was reading what they call the slave pamphlets. In other words, pamphlets that people had put out for money that were sort of like the 19th century equivalent of infomercials. In other words, how to raise slaves for fun and profit. The secret to the whole process was, and this is something that black men and women have to work on, was that the way to have successful a slave economy was to have the slave mothers raise their children as slaves. The slave master couldn't readily enslave large people, but if you enslaved the women's minds, they would enslave their offspring for you. So we have to work together to get that out of the way. Now,
I understand that, but while you
as a mother, a woman, we need, and white women too, any woman listening to it, stop worrying about being a professional and start worrying about square one. Are you a decent, good mother that prepares your children, especially your sons, to be men and women in the world? Or are you so concerned with your career you forget your primary job? Men, we're supposed to protect, and we're expendable. But we don't do that, and the women don't do that. So we got a way to go.
And it's just a whole bunch of things compounding another. While you're speaking from your side, the professional side, the judge side, and the person from the bench,
I'm speaking from the professional side. I'm speaking on having grown up in South Central L.A., and I'm one of the few people on my block that's still breathing air because the rest of them mostly died violently.
And that's fine, but I'm also speaking what my experiences, what my peers' experiences, and what I've seen personally in the things that is rooted. And when I go and I speak to these youth, I let them know that voting is very important. The black vote is very important. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't be trying to suppress it every chance they got. Just like in Florida. Well, last year the voters voted for 1.4 million of felons to receive their votes back. Just now, 2 days ago, the legislative in Florida also voted that in order for those felons to vote, if they owe any money to the state, if they owe any parole fees, any violation fees, or anything like that, all of that has to be paid before they can even utilize their vote. So they still trying to suppress these votes.
If you had a decent judge in criminal court, you'd do what I did, waive the fine and cost.
But see, we don't have a lot of decent judges. We got more terrible judges than decent judges. Now, like I told everybody, I was blessed. I was blessed, so I had a decent judge and I had a decent lawyer.
I've been practicing law for being a judge or arbitrator for 5 decades. Mm-hmm. The judges are worse now than they were when I started. They were more racist, but they had a fundamental sense of fairness. These people have another agenda now that they're pushing, and it isn't just racism. So you need judges. And one thing, if any young lawyers or law school aspirants are listening, it ain't just about money. I mean, I talk to young black lawyers, and they tell me, well, Judge, it's all about the dollar. No, it's not, fool. Well, everything's all right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It is not.
But see, this is what America is raising.
Going on.
America is raising people on money. Everything is about the dollar here. They think we the richest, but we the poorest country. We are broke. We are in $1 trillion in debt. We don't have the fundamental people in that government, in Capitol Hill, running this country, doing the right things. Everybody's about lining their pockets up and about who you're going to line yourself with to get ahead and make that money. While we have black and brown women in jail right now, I know a lady right now in jail just for changing the address for her son can go to a decent school. She's doing 6 years in jail for that. While we got these white people up in Hollywood that paid their way for fake degrees and fake scholarships, and they get slapped on the wrist for 4 months. So we have a duty to do as Black America is to stop playing with us and fight for us, stand for us, and be for us, and hold this down and hold these people accountable. We got to get more people in them seats and get these career politicians out these seats, get these career voters to understand that it's a new sheriff in town, and we got to do what we got to do. And we have to get these DAs out of them seats who keep sending people to jail that shouldn't be there. Wrongful convictions, they don't want to do their job. They sending people to jail that shouldn't even be there, and the evidence states that they shouldn't be there.
Care.
Just so they could get a body in that jail. 10 years ago, Judge. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Judge.
In my opinion, a career prosecutor is one of the most dishonest, fundamentally flawed people you can find. And by the way, look at us as a people. We're supporting this fake Negro, Kamala Harris, who is a career prosecutor who is about as corrupt as they come. But we love her. And she's not even black.
She's black.
She's a Hindu Brahmin.
And see, let me also tell you. Let me tell you this also. 10 years ago, there were only 5. 10 years ago, it was only 5 private prisons. They are now over 100 private prisons to this day. And in the next 10 years, they are projected over 360,000. It's all about the body inside that prison. And while you have 6% of America's corporations, it's 50 major corporations that are investing in these private prisons, like all the banks, Victoria's Secret.
That isn't what they really do. See, what they really do, they make some money off of that. That's just kind of making it pay its way. The real secret is what I said before. They don't want these bodies in the job market. You know why?
And that's why I'm getting to that.
Timothy McVeigh spent $50-some on 200 pounds of ammonium nitrate fertilizer. That is the same ingredient they put in Army 155 millimeter howitzer shells. It's a high explosive. You don't need any identification. You can walk in a lawn and garden store and buy it. And he blew up a courthouse in Oklahoma City and killed 250-some people. They don't want that to happen. So they're trying to keep all of these people in the penitentiary, not in there to make money off of them, but to keep them out of the job market.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree, Judge. And that's fine. But I feel... And that's fine. But what I'm telling you is that this is a billion-dollar industry.
That's chicken change. There is much more than that at stake. They will
you have
not
the Bush family. The Bush family controls the whole commissary.
That's chicken change. What I'm trying to tell you is that there's something more fundamental going on, and if you're going to work with people, you need to understand it. Don't resist it. I've worked with it for 50 years. All of that other stuff is interesting, but it's not the main deal. They don't want to – making money off of you is one thing. What they are trying to do is make big money, and they can't make big money if you're out in the job market because you just depress the wage scale. So when you're talking about $320 million and you're talking about how many million in the penitentiary, that's a small percentage. So what happens is they want you warehouse. That is what's important. If they can make money on the side, white folks, even some black folks, the rest of the world will make money on anything if they can. And your main problem is not the penitentiaries being privatized. The insidious crap is the privatized juvenile courts around the country that have a vested interest in family chaos that promotes that. So the children will, in perpetuity, take themselves the hell out of the loop by doing dysfunctional stuff and make their communities chaos. See, what most of the people in the penitentiary did, the crime I look at, it's not that they robbed somebody, they murdered somebody, they sold some drugs. They made where they live chaotic so their communities can do nothing because they're politically powerful. I used to bring in made men from the mafia to talk to people that I wanted to be talked to. And they tell them, see, you're foolish. They're exploiting you because you think you're getting away with something when you're doing exactly what they want you to do. It's not the money they make off of you being in jail. It's the money they make by you making where you live chaotic. And you sell poison where you live. You rape the children and the daughters of your neighbors. You burglarize your neighbors. You kill your neighbors. You do armed robberies of your neighbors, and you sell poison to your neighbors. That keeps you down. That's what we do. And we got to stop that bloody doggone thing, and we get nowhere because it's not just ending somebody making money. There are always people that don't give a damn about you or anything else and will make a lot of money off of you if you let them. But the most thing is let's stop fixating on the bloody money aspect of it and deal with the political control stuff where when we go out and gang bang because you got on blue or you got on red and your posse is Crips, yours is Bloods, yours is Traveling Vice Lords, you are a damn fool, and what you're doing is pushing the slave thing. See what our real thing is?
See,
we
that's
live
why I'm a gang member. That's what I'm a gang member, Bloods gang. And that's what I was doing before. And that's fine. You can hate it all you want. You can hate the gang life all you want, Judge. But there's no difference from them boys in the government. There's no difference from them guys on that bench. There are no difference from sororities, fraternities, and people that's in blue. It's not a difference because it's all a brotherhood or sisterhood, and it's all criminal activity going on in each one. And when you in the Bloods and Crips or Vice Lords, it was the government that brought whatever came to the hood, all of that happened. It was all driven by media and the government. And that's why I say I'm speaking my truth from the truth, not your side of the good side. Hey, you can say what you want, but it's next to you, but this is actual fact. You can't tell a gang member who ain't been on these streets, Judge, how this thing works.
You don't know what I know. I'm trying to give it to you so you can run with it.
You don't know what I know, so I'm educating you too.
I know what you know.
And you think you know what you think. Just because you grew up in South Central, honey, that doesn't mean you know what I know.
That's bullshit.
And that's
now
fine.
You want to hear the real deal?
Fine. Go to Bamontes. You guys have a good day.
Go to Bamontes in the goddamn Brooklyn. You know what they'll tell you? Listen to me.
Judge.
You go to Bamontes restaurant in Brooklyn, some of the best Italian foods you'll ever run into. The mafia controls that place. But little old ladies walk around with ankle-length fur coats and real bling, and nobody touches them because they say our duty is to make where we live a safer place for the people that live here. You walk down in the hood, you ain't wearing bling because somebody will hijack you. You ain't wearing a fur coat or somebody will hijack you. You walk around looking cute and you're female, somebody will rape you. The difference between the real gang, the posse, the mafia, who really is deep into it, nobody messes with them, is they protect the people that live where they are. We don't. See, that's the big deal. And as long as we run around legitimizing what we do, I was a gang member, they would tell you what they'd do with you if you did that kind of thing where they lived or anybody they had control of, they'd shoot you. Because we need public order. We need the people to be safe.
So, Judge, she got disconnected. She's actually on the set. So we're going to shorten today's show. So just
we don't need to shorten. We need to talk about that. See, this is a thing we have called glorification of dysfunction. Let me open up the mic then, because I don't have anything to contribute. So let me open up the mic. I do.
But wait, I want to give some people. Let's allow some other people to.
Let some people talk.
Hopefully they don't mind. Yes. All right, so some other people who definitely know something about, alternative lifestyles or street life. Or,
there ain't no alternative lifestyle.
No, I'm just talking about different lifestyles. We don't all come from the same walk. That's all I mean.
Dysfunction is not cool.
Judge, hold on a
Glorification
second.
of dysfunction
818
causes us to kill ourselves and rip ourselves off, which bad.
Okay.
There's no excuse for lack of manhood. That's what the problem is. Take the man out,
all right.
You don't have public peace.
Okay.
Now, go ahead.
We got 858.
Let's mix it up today.
858-322.
That's me. I say them LA boys is going off 2 days in a row around here for Doc. You know what I'm saying, Judge? I was going off yesterday and now you going off today. I'm with you, man.
Thank you. This is some sickness. We got poison in our neighborhoods and folk want to glorify it. If you did it, then you did it.
But I grew up out here in Los Angeles back in the late 60s, early 70s, and the killing never stopped. You know, we had people in office that was supposed to be on our side, and that was talking, against police brutality and all that. And that was back way back in the late 70s, early 80s. We in 2019. We got to wake up and realize that they are killing us. They're not marching for us. They're killing us. So I don't know about you guys, but if somebody killed my son, I'm not marching down the street and I ain't voting for nobody. I'm going to go back and retaliate, period. And then that's the only solution that you're going to get gratification and satisfying of anything right now. Now, so what? I'm going to sit in jail for the rest of my life? Well, what am I missing? Because ain't nothing out here at all. If you ask me, the prisoners got a better life than we do out here.
I'm going to have to push back on that as an attorney.
Yeah.
Because in Georgia,
well, I mean, the attorneys, like I said, can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Can I finish? Because I said before I started talking that, I'm not here, trying to disagree with nobody and just listen to me. That's what when I gave my declaration in the beginning.
I understand.
And this is another problem. This is another problem. See, I know, but you've been talking the whole time, sir, and I just came in. I just want to say what I got to say, brother. You can have the whole stage.
But it's not about trying to have the whole stage.
This is one of the main problems. This is one of the main problems that we have, though. No, what I'm saying is this is one of the main goddamn problems we got. When somebody's talking, we can't speak. When somebody's talking, let them speak, brother. This is the main problem that we got going right now in society.
Okay, brother.
I just asked, could I speak, and you talking over me because you disagree.
No, I don't disagree. The law disagrees.
No, you interrupted me, brother. You interrupted. I don't give a damn about no attorneys, man.
She said
I don't give a shit about no fucking punk-ass attorneys, okay?
She said
attorney don't mean shit. Attorney don't mean shit. An attorney don't mean shit. Okay. In this system.
Okay, so let's get back.
Your law degree don't mean shit about this system, man.
Have a solution today. So Ali,
they killing us.
You want? What is it? What is it? What is your point though? What is it?
The problem is what just happened. Listen to me. The problem is what just happened. Somebody's speaking and somebody can't wait till they finish. That's one of the main goddamn problems we got going on in this world right now. Because somebody think they can speak and not let somebody finish. It don't matter if you disagree or not. It don't matter of anything. Let folks finish and let them finish what they got to say first before you start running your motherfucking mouth.
First off, stop cussing at me.
I don't give a shit about no goddamn attorney. Attorneys suck blood in the daytime. They vampires. You a vampire like the rest of them because you can't change shit in this goddamn killing system, man. You need to just face up and tell the truth. They killing us, and you letting folks killing your people. Stand up and fight for your people, man.
I am standing up and
fighting
for
your goddamn law degree bullshit and that voting shit.
You know what?
Get your ass up and get a gun and protect your people and these women out here. That's what you need to do.
Can we cut him? No.
You cut your own motherfucking self, homie.
Can we cut him?
You shouldn't have ran your motherfucking mouth when I started talking. You should have shut your ass up.
Mr. Ali.
You should have shut your ass up when I started talking.
Stop cussing me.
Man, fuck you. Fuck you punk ass nigga.
Stop cussing me. Stop cussing me. I ain't into that.
You was a bitch. You was a bitch. You was a bitch.
First off, your philosophy will get you a life sentence in Georgia or the death penalty, straight up. And that's just real. Us fighting back and shooting back, that ain't never solved nothing. And my issue is this. If you putting that out on the internet or for everybody to hear, you don't give the other side of that. I represent people that got life sentences. I represent people that are charged with murder. Fighting back like that is not going to work. It never has.
No. 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 She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.